So the Washington Commanders just signed an XFL superstar? Let's talk about it.
Wait a minute, girl, can you slow down? Wait a minute, girl, what's the rush now? I wanna introduce myself to you. My name is one-on-one guy, you prefer now. I like the way you put your fists together. I like the way you do your hair in the morning. I see why all the boys want you, girl.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about the Washington Commanders signing an XFL superstar. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. Alright, so the XFL season just wrapped up with the DC Defenders sadly losing in the championship game to Arlington. And with the XFL this past year, it was a successful one from fans, from viewership, from just the overall play on the field. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his company, they did a really, really good job with the XFL this go round. And I think this is something that's going to be, long lasting. All right. And I genuinely feel like this new XFL is going to give players an opportunity to continue to live their dream, which is to play in the NFL. And a lot of players at the post of this season were released from their contracts so they can then go sign with NFL teams. But if they can't get on a team's roster, or if they get cut or whatever, they can come back to the XFL and play until they can continue to find a chance to land on an NFL roster. So it's kind of like the G League for the NFL, but not really, because it's its own business and league. But allowing these players to go pursue their dreams in the NFL is a really, really good thing. So again, shout out to the XFL, man. So let's talk about the player that the Washington Commanders signed, Gerard Jones-Smith. He was an offensive lineman in the XFL. But if that name sounds familiar, he was in the NFL at one point, but then he went to other leagues after getting cut from multiple NFL teams, and now he is back. He's only 27 years old, but he's a 6'7" beast. This guy was amazing for the St. Louis Battlehawks in the XFL this past season. He was an all-XFL player. So one of the best XFL players in the league. So let's take a quick trip of his career history first. So he went undrafted with the Houston Texans after the 2018 draft. He then went to the San Antonio Commanders of the the AAF, which was a disaster of a league. You know how that went. And then he found his way back into the NFL with playing with the Miami Dolphins after the league got suspended on April 9, 2019. He was then cut August 31st, 2019. And then he signed with the San Francisco 49ers to their practice squad on October 1st. He was re-signed with the 49ers after the 2019 NFL season on February 10, 2020. He was waived during the final roster cuts of September 5th, 2020. Then he signed with the Las Vegas Raiders on their practice squad. Then he was elevated to the active roster on November 7th, November 14th, and November 22nd for the team's Week 9, 10, and 11 games against the Los Angeles Chargers, Denver Broncos, and Kansas City Chiefs. So for that AFC West stretch, he was on their active roster. And then he was reverted back to the practice squad after each game. He signed a reserve/future contract on January 5th, 2021. On August 31st, Jones was waived by the Raiders. Then he was picked up by the Baltimore Ravens on September 21st, 2021. And then after that, he was released on November 16th, 2021, but then re-signed on November 23rd, 2021. He signed a reserve/future contract with the Ravens, and then he was waived again. And then now he finally found his footing, where he signed with the St. Louis Battlehawks of the XFL, and he had himself a hell of a season. He was drafted by the St. Louis Battlehawks, and he was named to the all XFL team as an offensive lineman. He was released from his contract May 15th to obviously pursue his career in the NFL. Now, it is one thing that we have to mention about this guy. He did have a gruesome injury where people thought that he could potentially get his body part amputated if they didn't get to it quick enough. So he does have some injury history, but the guy was amazing for the Battlehawks. And he's a guy that could potentially compete for a tackle spot on this roster. He's 6'7" and has tree branches for arms. So guys like Cornelius Lucas and some other fellas that are older on the roster, they could potentially, be the odd man out because he's 27. Ron Rivera wants to keep this roster youthful. So he could find his way in. And guys like him, Chris Paul, Braden Daniels, that we just drafted from Utah, they have real opportunities to change this offensive line for the future. Because, again, Charles Leno is still here, and he's going to be the starting left tackle. But I genuinely feel like we can do better than Charles Leno. He's like 30-plus, and he's average at best. So I'm hoping guys like Braden Daniels can pan out and potentially be the left tackle of the future. Maybe this guy's the left tackle of the future. Who knows? But I just want to see these guys get an opportunity to show what they got. And that's what he's getting here. And the good thing about him is that he's going to be in football shape already because he just finished up an XFL season. So he doesn't have to, get into football shape. He's going right into training, rookie minis and all this stuff like that. So I think he's actually going to have an advantage once we get the actual training camp. So I'm going to be interested to keep watching this kid and keep watching to see what he does in this summer, because he might be a guy that makes this roster. And if it's not even in a starting capacity right off the bat, it could be in a depth role. He got to have a strong preseason, though, for sure. And in this joint practice with the Ravens, it's going to be interesting to see because, he's going to be a tackle. So he may get thrust into a starting spot because, we're going to rotate guys in and out. So he may go up against a guy like Adefe Owu or, their edge rushers there in Baltimore in the joint practice. So, again, it's going to be interesting to see what he does, and I think he has a real shot to potentially make this roster because right now you look at our tackle situation, overall left and right tackles, you got Cornelius Lucas, you got Charles Leno, you got Sam Cosmi, and some other free agent guys that we signed, Andrew Wiley, and then I think we also signed a guy from Pittsburgh that can play guard and tackle. So we got stuff there. Andrew Wiley is a guy that can play guard and tackle also. So I could see them potentially putting him at tackle at some point in the season or guard. And then this guy could potentially make the roster as a backup. And then we move on from Cole Luke. Maybe at the end of training camp or next season. Because, again, it's all about the youthful age. It's what Ron Rivera loves. So this guy could be the next up. Really, go watch the St. Louis Battlehawks highlights if they're out there, man. The guy was really good. He was a mauler in the run game. He was a really good pass protector, and he's athletic too. He's 6'7", so he's huge, right? But you would think since he's so tall, he may lack mobility or athleticism. Nah, man, he got it all, And honestly, the skill level is way different in the XFL than the NFL. But you never know, man. These guys are fiending for opportunities to show what they got. Some of these guys are on their last leg with trying to make the NFL and make their dreams come true. This guy is probably one of them because he's been in and out of the NFL multiple times. So this may be his last opportunity to prove to NFL teams that he can play at this level. So I already know he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder and he's going to be hungry. So I'm interested to see what this guy has and what he can bring to this offensive line group that we desperately need help at this time. Yeah, we made some upgrades, but on paper, we should be better than last year, but you never know. It may be a gem in this group that we may sleep on. So it's going to be fun to watch during training camp and mini camp that's coming up here shortly. So stay tuned and keep your eyes peeled for that because there's going to be more and more content coming out on this guy and this team. So that's a little bit of the backstory of this guy. Let me know what you guys think about the new offensive lineman that the Washington Commanders signed. Do you think he has a real opportunity to make this roster, or do you feel like it's just another guy that's probably not going to make it through training camp and final cuts? Let me know. So as always, it's me, boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. See you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.
Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped.